still an issue of, well, what do we do with the waste that is there? We need to take this opportunity to push ahead and use funds to invest in research and technology to have these waste facilities created, because in reality, do you feel safe if we are needing nuclear technologies? Don't you want to be the ones to go out there and say, this is our country, let's go out and lead some new technologies? Now, we recognize that the renewable energy portfolio is an ideal dream, but we are still just trying to deal with getting off of fossil fuels, and we need a stepping stone to get from fossil fuels to this renewable energy. Renewable energy is not there, and it is time for us as a nation to use nuclear energy to get there. Thank you. Okay, cool. It's working. So, this is the cross-examining section, just so you all know. And we have some questions from Charlie here. So, would you consider nuclear energy a renewable resource? No. No. Why is that? Because you have to use the uranium, you have to mine it out, but then what we do use is the MOX fuel, which you can use that uranium over and over again. Okay. How many times over can you use the MOX fuel? You can, the technology itself has not been applied yet, so we do not have specific numbers, thus we need to invest in it to find it. So,